All right, in functions, if I say f of x, that's just a function. F of x is a function like it could be 3x minus 2. And if I give you an x for it, if I say f of 3, that means I want you to put 3 in the function. So I just put a 3 in here, and then I got 3 times 2 is 9. 9 minus 2 is 7. All right. What happens, though, if I say this? F of x is 12. Well, I didn't just tell you x then. I must have told you something else. What did I tell you then? I must have told you what? Yes, and it's what the function is. So if f of x is 12, I've told you not x, I've told you y. If I say f of x is 12, just look at this and say f of x is 12. Do you see where I can put the 12? All of that, not just the x. If I said f of x is 12, that means wherever I see an f of x, which I saw one right here, I can erase it and put 12. See? And now I can figure out what x is. See, they didn't tell me x. They told me y. By saying f of x was 12, they told me y is 12. I now stick that in. I can now solve it. Add 2 to both sides. 14 equals 3x. X must, it's a nasty fraction, but okay, x equals 14 thirds. The point is, if they give you a function like this function right here, they're either going to tell you x or they're going to tell you y. One of the other. If they tell you f of 2, what have they told you? X. If they tell you this, like g of x is 36, they did not tell you x, they must have told you y. So then you'd stick in the 36 right here. You could not put it there, otherwise you'd be acting like they told you x. All right, so you'd say 36 equals x squared, and therefore x must equal 6. Or, x equals negative 6. Good. Negative 6 squared is also 36. All right. See this little function over here, this little graph? I want you to see if you can answer that question. But keep in mind, they gave you x. Okay, focus in. I'm going to ask you to write this one down and then show me in a moment. Ask you to write your answer, zoom in on it big so I can read it easy, and then show me. I want to get a feeling for what this was. I told you x was 2. And therefore, they want to know what the other number is, which is y. All right, write down what you think it is, and then just turn your iPad so it faces me, and leave it on your desk. Don't have to hold it up. All right, it's seeing a lot of the right answer and a few that are not right. Some people still haven't turned theirs on. Public shame and humiliation. Okay. Don't know what to do? Okay. All right. It was -2. Almost everybody had it. So here's how. Watch what happens. They told me x is 2. I go to where x is 2. That is where x is 2, right there. So then I say, where else is x 2? It's all along this line. That's the spot that's important then. It's what y goes with it. So at that spot, what's the y? Y is -2. So therefore the answer to this one is -2. All right. On this one, however, they did not tell me x. They tell me y. Y is 4. Then I go over here and I find where y is 4. Try that one, everybody. Find where y is 4. Make a little dotted line until you touch the function, and then you say, oh, that must be the function. It's really light, but I can't read it from the river. Good. Good. A lot of people are showing me already. Yep. Layers there. Yep, thank you. Good. Good. Nope. Good. Yep, 2 is placed. Nope. You know what I was referring to? The famous thing is there. 1 is 5. British, and he was running through or no, riding his horse too. Because they were going to have one light if they were coming by land, and two lights up if they were coming by sea. What? Well, yeah, it works. Yeah, their warning system worked. He ran through the town and told everybody. Okay. So what you should have done here was to say y is 4, and the 4 would be right there, and I go across and I say right there. That's the spot. So what do I want about that spot? Do I want the x or the y? Well, they already told me the y, so I must want the x. The x of it is negative. All right. I'm sensing that is not something you guys are awesome at, because you're still getting about 20-30% of the questions wrong. I want to do one more. See if you can get this one. What if I say f of x is equal to negative 2? So that's like important. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Some of you guys are, I think, telling me. Yep. You're trying to tell me the x here. I told you the y. Yep. Yep. Lots of 2's, and the 2 is the correct answer. Here's why. Because if y is negative 2, I go down here to y is negative 2. That's the spot where y is negative 2. I follow it across to find the point. That must be the important point. And what do I want about that point? X. They told me the y. I need to tell them the x. X of that point. That point is 2. Negative 2, and the x of that is 2. Therefore, x equals 2. Right. Hope you feel like you're getting that, because that's an important one. This one is just where you took a function, the black one, and then you moved it to where the red one is. You get how the red one has been moved to the right a little bit, and you get it to also move down a little bit. So remember, you write your answers like this. Let's say I thought it was moved to the right 3, and then up 7. I would go like that. You use f of x, but then you have some stuff around the f of x where you can make it go to the right or the left, or the up and down. Write me one of those to this. Good. Yes. I think how far up it's been moved or down it's been moved isn't that far. It's just a matter of counting how much closer. Yes. 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 Yep. Nope. It's moved. I know what you're looking at. You're looking at this one and comparing it to this one. But that's not the right ones to look at. You got to look at the pointy, like the valley. Compare the valley to the valley. And then you can see it's been moved 2 to the right and down 3. Okay, so you should have said 2 to the right and then down 3. Raise your hand if you knew that one. Okay, good. Next one. This is just a review one, but it brings up an important point. I'm going to just show you something quick. Let's say I said this. F of 2 equals question mark. Did I tell you x or did I tell you what? I told you x. Now, just touch there. Eraser. What if I go like this? Now I told you what? What? Yes, you can think of that as a stretch, but just figure out what f of x is all by itself. Not yet. Yes. But divide by 2 to start with, because that'll get this f of x alone, and f of x will equal 4. You get what I'm saying? Now what did I tell you? The y. And the y is what? 4. By saying this, I was saying, all right, what if they just have it like this, though? 2f of x. First, I got to figure out what f of x is. Say I figure out f of x, and f of x comes out to like 12. Then I can multiply it by 2. Usually the problem would look like, say I had f of x equals 3x plus 1. And they say find 3f of negative 3. They don't even have these parentheses to help you understand which first. So a lot of people get confused on this. Start with that. Once you've got that answer, that's how you do it. So in your head, stick in the negative 3, and add 1, and then what do you get? Before you multiply it by 3, what do you get here? Because this would, negative 3 goes in here, and what do you get for that? Negative 9 plus 1. Negative 8. Raise your hand if you knew it was negative 8. Okay, good. Why didn't you say it? And then you take the negative 8 and you times it by 3, and what do you get? Negative 24 is fine. That's right. All right, so going back here, when they ask you to do this, just figure out f of 4, and then figure out f of negative 5, and then subtract. When they want you to do this one, it's in parentheses. You can do it first. What's 4 minus 4? 0, and then just find f of 0. Right. I want you to answer all the ones on this page, and I know that this last one you'll probably struggle with, but that's one where I'll help you in a minute. But try all 6 of them. Some of these should be no-brainers. We already did on the last slide. These 6 questions should be zip until you hit number 6. If you don't know it, at least you can admit that, hey, I might learn something today. You writing here is not involved. That involves either a pencil or a stylus or finger. You can't just be sitting there. Like CNN.com or something. All right, so here we go. This first one, f of 2. Well, you put in, did they tell you x or what? So if I go to x is 2, it's right here. It's down here, and it must be the y of that, which would be negative 2. Raise your hand if you had that one right. Take it. Next one, f of negative 7. They tell you x is negative 7. So I go over here to negative 7, and it's right there. That's the spot. So what do we want about it? The y. Y would be 0. The next one, f of 4 minus 4. Well, 4 minus 4 is 0. It's really asking f of 0. X is 0. That's right here. Follow it up to the spot. That's the spot. That spot is at 0, 1. I want the y of it. Raise your hand if you had the first 3 right. Good, and you're really on track. Okay, this next one, f of 4, f of 4, x is 4, there, and we get 1. And then f of negative 5, I go over here to 1, 2, 3. Negative 5 is right there, and so then that would be 2. That's 1 minus 2. Negative 1. The next one, they didn't tell me x this time, they told me y. Show me y is 4. And I go up here to y is 4, and I follow it over, and that's the spot. It's trying to say that x is negative 2. And then this last one, did anybody think they got? 4 people. Who's bold enough to tell me what the answer is? Yes? Okay, what do you think? Several people. You think 0 too? What do you think? Alright. I'm getting answers of 0 or 4. And a lot of people just have no idea. So, watch, because I'm going to do another one like this in a minute for you, but I'm going to show you how to do this one. First of all, ask yourself, did they give me X or did they give me Y? Well, this one, it kind of looks like they sort of gave me both, but they really didn't. They gave you Y. They gave you Y is negative 2. Okay, so if Y is negative 2 is the thing I start with, just ignore what's in here for now. Just say, okay, they give me Y is negative 2, I'm going to work with that. If y is negative 2, that goes down to here, and so then I follow it over, and that's the spot, 2 comma negative 2. And I already knew the negative 2, so the x equals 2 is this part. That part right there has to be 2. So now what you do is you take what's underneath the scribble there, and I say that has to equal 2. X plus 2 has to equal 2. Notice that's an equation. And then from there you just solve that equation. X must equal 0. Alright, raise your hand if you had 0 before I did. Okay, that's like 6 or 7 of you. Now I'm going to try another one like this. I'm going to give you another problem just like that, and the process goes like this. Ignore this part to start with. And then ask yourself, okay, they gave me y. Figure out what this number comes out to. Let's say it comes out to 7. And set whatever's underneath here equal to 7 and figure it out from there. It'll be the equation. Alright, so here is my new one for you. Let's say that I said that f of x minus 3, weird f is equal to negative 2. Ignore that. It's all the way under the problem. Okay. Raise your hand if you're confident that you're doing it right. So only at like half the class. Okay. AL. Would you tell me what you think I should do here? First step was to figure out if y is negative 2, what did you get? You got negative 2 is this spot right here, so yes, x was 2. So then, what's underneath the blob has to be 2. X minus 3 has to be 2. Did you get negative 1? What'd you got? Because here, it's underneath the blob here. Oh, okay. What did I do wrong? Yeah, what was I supposed to do here? Add 3, x equals 5. Thank you. You're right, I was making a mistake. I was just an honest mistake on my part. I wasn't trying to mess with you. Alright, raise your hand if you had that one right. Okay, good. Again, what happened? I figured out that this part here had to equal 2. Then let's make an equation. X minus 3 has to equal 2. And then I add 3 to both sides and I get it. Alright, so let's... Do we need another one like that or not? Alright, I got a couple people that got it wrong and looked really puzzled, so I'm going to try one more like that. If you're really good at it, just do it fast. Alright, I'm going to give you this one in black. F of x plus 7 will equal... Get a fairly largest negative number. Right. So remember, always start these questions with? If they give you X, they give you Y. They give you Y. And they give you Y is 4. So you go up to Y is 4, right there. Got to go across to find the answer. There it is. X is -2. What do I do with that? This whole thing here has to be -2. So I say X plus 7, 2. Subtract 7 from both sides. Like, raise your hand if you got that one right. Good. It's worth the most vast majority. Okay, because this whole thing has to be -2. Not just that little piece of it. This whole thing has to be negative. Okay, moving on. There's some questions on that I am going to choose not to give you. I think you're understanding it pretty well. This one, just take the 2. They told me X, right? And stick it into the equation and figure it out in your head. Don't even write anything down. And practice some of this in your head. ACT, SAT test, the time. If you have to write every single little teeny tiny thing down, it's going to take you forever. You won't finish. So 2 squared is 4. 4 times 4 is 16 minus 8 is 8. My absolute value of 8 is 8. And then you add 1 makes 9. Raise your hand if you add 9. Okay, good. And I don't think we need to do number 2. Number 3. H of 6 equals. Did they tell me X? Did they tell me what? Tell me X. X is 6. So I put in a 6, and then I figure out 6 minus 2 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. 2 minus 3 would be -1. You follow that? Okay, just pick the number in just like before. But this one's different. What do you think I'd start with? Did they really tell me X? No, they didn't tell me X at all. What did they tell me? They told me Y, but in kind of a weird way. So how do I get this to be just H of X? Divide by 2 on both sides, and I'll know what Y is. Divide by 2, divide by 2. Those 2's cancel. H of X is 1. So now they told me Y is 1. Now, if they told me Y is 1, I got to go put that over in here. I can't put it in there. That's not where Y goes. Y goes here. That's 1. So the question is like a little puzzle now. What do I put in for the X so that the answer will come out to 1? What do you think? All right, I'm going to try 18. 18 minus 2 would be 16. Square root of 16 would be 4. 4 minus 3 gives me 1. Yeah. Now, what if you're like, that's how we got that, 18. He's right. Only just solve it. 1 equals square root of X minus 2 minus 3. How do I start? I add 3 to both sides. 4 equals the square root of X minus 2. How do I get rid of a square root? Square it. I square both sides. 16 equals X minus 2. How do I get the X all alone? Add 2. 18 equals X. See? You could just guess and check and figure it out, but you could solve it like normal rules. The hardest part there was when you had the square root. How do you get square roots? You square root them. Square roots are the opposite of squaring. So you square to get rid of them. All right, hang on. That's good. So I want to do one more of that last kind of stuff. So let's say on the same problem right here, I'm going to give you number 4. I'm going to tweak it a little bit. So try this. Call it 7 H of X is equal to 35. 7 H of X. That's 35. That's problem number 4. I hope you're smart enough to know to divide by 7. H of X comes out to be 5, right? So now we're not done. We don't know what X is yet. We know what Y is at least. Y is 5. So we go put a 5 right here. 5 is equal to, okay, so then I can add 3 to both sides, and I'll have 8. the square root of x minus 2. And then I square both sides, I get 64 equals x minus 2, and I add 2, 66. Raise your hand if you had 66. Now, if you didn't, you see what happened. Yes. Okay. All right, so moving on. The very first question throws on our worksheet. It says something like this: 2f of negative 2. Then it has like 4 functions: f of x, g of x, h of x, and some other equation probably. So when they say 2f of 2, right away I can narrow it down to I only care about the f function. The other ones I don't care about. This is an f function, not a g or an h. Okay, so that's the first thing. The next thing is I need to figure this out first, and whatever that answer comes out to, I'm going to times by. Okay, that's how you do that. So let's get that first worksheet up. Everybody find it under Schoology, and Schoology page. Here it is. So it's semester. Yeah, the very bottom one of the list. Yep. Okay. Anybody else is working? Working? Most of the people's are working, so why don't you just try shutting down and bringing it back up. Sorry to make you do that, but all right. So here's the first problem of it. What is the value of f of 2? Well, that's easy. I just use the f function. Notice I don't need any of these functions because I'm doing f of 2. So then I stick in a 2. And then 2 minus 5 is negative 3. Absolute value of that is 3. 3 plus 3 makes 6. There it is. Alright. So I need to take attendance for a second here. I'll pause back. Alright. For those that are able to get this open, when you get to problem number 2, problem number 2 says, what's the value of 3, g of negative 3? Start by figuring out g of negative 3. Act like that's the question. What's g of negative 3? Well, I got to focus in on the g function. The g function's right here, one step at a time. Now, once I know that, I go stick a negative 3 in there. So let's get a negative 3 right there. I'll figure out what the answer comes out to be. And once I've got the answer, I take my answer and times it by this 3 in the front. 3 times whatever comes out. Alright, so always start these by figuring out this part first. Alright, that's all the sage advice that I have for you.